As many people know, Odin has a plethora of pseudonyms that he's adopted over the years. For example, he goes by High, Justice High, Longbeard, Allfather. But he also called Belager, which translates to flaming or shining eye. This is in reference to his missing eye, as it can occasionally emit a very bright light or come ablaze. The myth behind Odin's missing eye begins with him upset that he doesn't know everything there is to know in the world. Odin doesn't just go to the local library, but rather he goes on an extended quest around the Nine Realms in search of discovering more and more understandings. This journey ultimately leads him to Jotunheim and the Well of Knowledge. Before I continue with Odin's journey, there was another individual who interacted with the well long before he did. His name was Mimir, and he was actually Odin's uncle. He too was in search of finding more knowledge of everything, and when he found the well, he decided to take a drink from his Galahorn to learn from the magical water. Once he took a sip, his knowledge of the world instantly expanded. Mimir also goes on to be beheaded, and his head kind of just stays around, and Odin kind of just steals it and carries around with him, just whisper to. So, as a side note, I'm just going to keep drawing him as a head, even if he had a body at this point in the myth, because it's just so much easier. So, back to Odin. During his time in Jotunheim, he comes across this magical well that is guarded by Mimir. Finally, Odin has found something to finish his quest for knowledge and demands to take a drink in order to gain infinite wisdom. However, Mimir is not having it and doesn't just let anyone sip from his well. Odin tries to reason with Mimir, saying that he is his nephew and thus should let him take a drink. No, says Mimir. After 2 attempts, Odin realizes he's out of options, so as a last resort, he asks what is actually needed in order for him to take a drink. Mimir, having recently watched the movie Saw, lets Odin know that the key to drinking from the well is to cut out your eye, acting as a worthy sacrifice to Mimir, who has sacrificed nothing in order to drink from the well. Odin happily agrees and cuts out his eye, screaming so loud that an Arby's in Midgard thinks they have a customer. Odin, now spelt only with a single eye, drops his bloodied, mangled mass into the water, only for it to float around while he fills up a horn of that sweet, sweet, smart water. Now, only with one set of ocular appendages and a horn full of stagnant water, Odin wastes no time to guzzle down his drink before Mimir calls him a lightweight. Except Odin is a lightweight, as the virgin vodka shot immediately hits him. During his high, Odin unlocks 100% of his brain and finally achieved his quest of acquiring infinite knowledge. Now that Odin has fulfilled his quest, he returns to Asgard wearing a weathered scar where his eye used to reside. This scar occasionally flares brightly, forever solidifying Odin as the blazing eye in a one-drink Andy.